did that come out? How did people wind up saying, Professor Griff he says he's always saying anti-Semitic things. Let's tell us where that started from.
I think the origin of that particular thing lies with not Professor Griff speaking and speaking truth to power and speaking up. I think that lies with the people that have co-opted black life. I think that starts with the theft of African consciousness. I think it starts with the theft of our culture and our birthright. That's where it starts. So anyone could be labeled any of these particular things if you're that individual that study, if you're astute, if you're a student of history and you study, and you speak up and you speak out. I think that's where it starts. It didn't start. The music industry was in full effect long before a young Professor Griff came along, and artists, and I can call the roll, were getting beat for their royalties, and all this other kind of stuff. You understand what I'm saying? And there was a small group of people in the music industry, running the music industry, ripping people off in the industry, controlling the music industry, controlling distribution, controlling the studios, controlling the outlets by which we're seen and heard locally and globally. So that was happening way before Professor Griff. So if I come along and talk about that, and that grip and control that's around artists' neck, I don't have to be anti-anything. Why can't I just be pro-truth?
Why do you think that they labeled you as anti-Semitic?
I think during that particular time, there was an interview that I did with a gentleman by the name of David Mills, who was a writer, trying to be this Hollywood writer, trying to make a name for himself. And as you and everyone else should know by now, the concept and the idea in the language of racism, white supremacy, especially in this particular culture, you have to break in to some of these industries. Break into the music industry. We have to break an artist in, like buck breaking. You understand? It's like breaking a black man to be a slave. And this is the language of racism, white supremacy, and it also goes on inside of the music industry. So David Mills was trying to break into this whole idea of that world that they have on lock, which was being a writer and being a writer for Hollywood, being a writer for Hollywood. So he got the opportunity to interview Public Enemy, and Chuck D was the one doing the interview, not me. You understand what I'm saying? Something was going on, and Chuck asked me, could I handle that particular interview? At that time, I had the manuscript for, let me see, where are the two books? Secret Relationship. I had the manuscript to this book, The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews. It wasn't even a book yet. And these are the conversations that was going on the tour bus. So to us, keep in mind now, young Griff, radical, militant, ready to take on the world Griff. You understand what I'm saying? And at that particular time, this was common knowledge. Common knowledge.
What was common knowledge? So for the people that just came in and listened, what was common knowledge?
The thing that was common knowledge for the people that just came in was the information in this book, The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews. How a certain group of people controlled and manipulated black artists in the music industry and was responsible for the theft of African consciousness in reference to our birthright and who we are as the original people. That was common knowledge. That's like saying hi to somebody. It was common. Everyone knew it. We was all astute. We had the kind of tour bus where we would watch lectures after we got off stage. If we had an 8-hour ride to the next stop or 4-hour ride or whatever, we were watching lectures and we were studying. Everyone. So this was common knowledge. This wasn't anything. So when I went into the interview, I'm not thinking I'm saying something inflammatory or whatever. It's common knowledge. It's like, okay. And I'm talking to a black.
So where do you think that it took a turn, Griff?
And how do you think
it took a turn person, you being labeled as anti-Semitic.
Well, first let's before we keep throwing that term around, let's define that term.
I want you to.
I recently said on Nick Cannon's class that we are the Semitic people. Me and Nick agreed on that. Me and the vast majority of the world agrees that black people are the original Semitic people from the Semitic people and the Semitic languages. So I can't, if I'm the Semitic people, I can't be anti-Semitic, because being anti-Semitic would be anti-self. You understand what I'm saying? So that term does not mean I'm anti the Semitic people. That term actually means that I just don't agree with the popular thinking and saying, and I don't tote the line of somebody else stealing our birthright and being the Semitic people. These people are not the Semitic people. Black people are the original people. We are the Semitic people. We're responsible for the Semitic languages. So because I speak up and I speak out about these particular group of people and these things, I become not anti-Semitic, but I become anti this and anti that, and I hate white people, and I hate homosexuals, and I hate this. And it's not that. It's the fact that I speak up and I speak out and I tell the truth about the origin of these things, and they don't like that. So what they do is they themselves admitted that they use the term anti-Semitic as a trick to label someone, to destroy someone. And I refuse to be called anti-Semitic, because saying I'm anti-Semitic is saying I'm anti-black. And I'm not. I'm pro-black, pro-Kemetic.
And I say,
well, that was a mouthful. So let me kind of chop that up and kind of deal with some of that. First of all, black people cannot be racist. We don't have the power. I could say what I want to about any people on the planet. I have no power. I have no power to affect these people's lives. I really don't. I don't have any power to manipulate and control and to affect these people's lives. So black people can't be racist. That's number one. For someone to send you a message like, ain't he anti-Semitic? You see, they keep using the same old trick. So unless we go study and find out why they keep using the same old 30-year-old trick. Now this has been almost 31 years that this same kind of thing has been used against me. So over 30 years, you don't mean to tell me, if I'm such a hater, if I hate white people and hate these other groups of people and hate these people and hate that person, why would they induct me into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Hold on. Why would I get a Grammy, right? A Lifetime Achievement Award? Why would I eat with you, Khalid El Hakim, Black History 101 Mobile Museum, and all the other things I do? Why am I received with open arms? Come on in, come speak. Yes, let's talk. Why? If I'm this hater. Why, if I'm a hater, a racist, a liar, and all these things, you can simply say in simple terms, he's a liar, he's a racist, and he said this, that, and the other. Why can't you take my words that you claim that I said, put them under the microscope, and let's piece it apart? You understand what I'm saying? And then if you find me wrong and you find me in error, condemn me, and I'll be happy to come and I'll apologize to anybody. But if you find me right, say that I'm right, back the fuck up off of me, and start telling the goddamn truth. That's what we're going to do. So after 30 years, anyone can say anything about Griff. Prove me wrong, though. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong and I'll shut up.
It went left with Nick Cannon.
I don't think it went left with Nick Cannon. I think what happened was Nick felt what Nick had to do. It didn't go left with me. Notice they don't come ask me no goddamn questions. They ain't asking me to get re-educated. I wish the fuck they would. I asked them and begged them, come on my way. Shit, I'm not backing down off of nothing I say. Yeah, my phone number 678-557-2919. They know not to play that shit with me, because 30 years ago they asked me to apologize and come to this place and come to that place and let's educate you. Who the fuck are you? You a Johnny come lately on the fucking planet trying to educate black people. Fuck out of here. Twice.
Okay.
Fuck out of here.
Nick is remorseful about what he said.
Well, I can't speak for Nick Cannon. Nick
Right.
Nick got to do what Nick got to do. I can't speak for Nick Cannon. You understand what I'm saying? But I know from my position, the words that Nick used, how were they offensive? Let me tell you something. These are the same people that sit behind closed doors and write the history books and rewrite the history books that our children have to go to school and read. Do you know that when they put these books together and they wrote about our brothers and sisters, the Native Americans who are black, all right, they wrote the Native Americans in as savages? Do you know that they wrote us in the Constitution as 3/5 of a human being? All right. They said we below the level of the beast. We're on the level with the beast. Like we're savages. We're subhuman. In certain writings that they put together, we're useless eaters. Right? And this is how they refer to us. So when Nick say they went savage in the caves.
So I wanted you to come and have been to several different colleges, and especially Jewish colleges. Can you tell America about that, and then how you are able to take down that barrier that has been put up for you in reference to you going in and speaking your truth?
I stick Sharak. I stick with the truth. I don't bend and sway, and you understand what I'm saying? Whoever want to sit down and meet and talk, I sit, I meet, I talk. I give people my phone number. There's no reason why anybody have to go talk about Professor Griff. You can call me and say what you need to say. I answer my phone. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I don't mind sitting down with anybody. But when we do sit down, Sharak, we are going to deal with the truth. We're not going to deal with people's version of the truth. We're going to deal with the truth because the truth, it's already been written. We can cross-reference and do whatever we need to do. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's there. But I'm just one of those black men that it just so happens that I read and I study and I sat at the feet of the elders and I revere my ancestors and I stand on the shoulders of my ancestors and kneel at the feet of my elders and I go forth with that. Fearless. You understand what I'm saying? The internet is the best thing that ever happened to a fucking coward. And this is what people hide behind, but I don't do that. I'm transparent. And this is very real. And I don't have to make stuff up. So you either take Griff or leave me the fuck alone. Do you understand what I'm saying? It is what it is. Now, I'm nice to everyone.
So let them know how you are received. But let them know how you are received when you go into these communities, into the communities like the colleges and the different nationality colleges, and how you are able to relate to them and they'll welcome you with open arms.
Right. I love your question, but I love more so how I'm received in the street by black people. I love that I can go anywhere in the country, any part of the country, any hood, and the quote-unquote street people got my back. I love that. A lot of people can't do that. A lot of these Hollywood flunkies and some of these other people can't do that. So for me to step up into a school, they should be happy a proud black man is coming up there to speak some truth. I don't try to offend anyone.
But they do sit and they listen.
And they listen. And young, and right, they acknowledge my presence, and young whites want to get autographs and take pictures, and they want to stay and they want to conversate and they want to talk. And I thank not only you, but I thank Khaled El Hakim, the Black History 101 Mobile Museum, for making that happen, because I've been in contact with thousands of students over the last 17 years. So if I was this anti-whatever, it's like, wow, who am I that they fear, though? Get some public enemy number one.
Well, you know what? I don't know if how do we move forward?
I think we move forward with this concept that you just mentioned. It has to be a mutual respect. I am not going to go into any situation, whatever it is, as the master-slave relationship intact. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go in and sit down. I don't care if it's with imam, a pastor, reverend, rabbi, teachers, or whoever. I'm not going in a subservient kind of role. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. Either we're going to come in and sit down as equals and have the conversation, and we're going to talk, all right? Or it's not going to be any conversation with Professor Griff. It's plain and simple. We have to have mutual respect for one another. Deeper than that, sis, we have to have mutual respect for the truth. You understand what I'm saying? And if we're not going to do that, then there's not going to be any meeting halfway. Now, they're saying people might be thinking they have the upper hand. Well, I'm not tied to their industries. I don't work for them. I'm not tied to their industries. They had me kicked out of Public Enemy, and they've taken everything I have. I don't have no money and no wealth and no their cars and houses and Becky Asaflat and the rest of these other people. I don't have any of those things. You understand what I'm saying? So the only thing I have is the truth, and that's what they don't want to deal with. So moving forward, we're gonna have to kind of press the reset button, sis. You understand what I'm saying? We have to have a mutual respect. I'm not somebody's Negro. I'm not somebody's nigger. I'm not a fucking minority. I'm not any of these particular things. Do you understand what I'm saying? I gave up the name that that they put on me. I gave them back their slave master's name. I'm not really connected to them like that. They don't own me. You understand what I'm saying? I love my people, and I speak for my people. But if I'm not going to speak the truth with my people, I don't expect my people to get my back. But we got to speak the truth about hip-hop. We got to speak the truth about black culture, about black history, about black people, and who we are as a people. What is wrong with that? It seems like that frightens people so much, they don't even want to come to a meeting. The whole idea of having melanin. So when we dive into Dr. Frances Cress Welsing's work, she talks about the neurochemical agent, all right? And she talks about this whole idea of, but because they don't have melanin, Nick said they don't have compassion. Do you understand what I'm saying? Nick don't have compassion because when we talk about this particular body of work, the ISIS papers, the keys to the colors, but because they don't have melanin, Nick said they don't have compassion. So it's easy for them to steal, rob, rape, murder, kill, claim our birthright, and it's been documented.
You know what? I'm just like so done right now because I thought that this was going to be, and I love how you're speaking your truth. And I thought that this was going to be a decent conversation where people can be able to hear me ask the questions and then you respond, and not later on taking bits and pieces of your conversation and still kick that anti-Semitic thing. I want it to be an open dialogue. I'm not a threat to anybody.
Sharrock, they don't want.
Wrong.
Yeah, they don't want an open dialogue. They don't want that. It's almost like they'd rather destroy us and murder us and silence us and keep us broke, keep us sick, like with the pandemic that's going on now. They want to keep us sick, keep us broke, keep us at each other's throats. And they don't want an open dialogue like this because too much truth to get out. Anyone that I know, when I was coming up as a young man, that spoke truth to power, they either murdered them or they silenced them. That was a white, Israeli professor and Jewish woman. She says, anytime we want to destroy someone, basically we neutralize them by calling them anti-Semitic. Anytime you criticize Israel or have anything to say, you get labeled anti-Semitic. And they destroy you. She says they have a lot of money, they have power, and they control the media. So anytime you put Google Professor Griff, anti-Semitic comes up in your face, first thing, and that was 30 some odd years ago. Listen, the same one that took credit for splitting Public Enemy up and attacking and coming against Professor Griff is Rabbi Cooper, the same white Jewish dude that's on with Nick Cannon right now. Same person. Tell me that's by accident. That's design.
Get people to understand where you're coming from and that you're not anti-Semitic.
Well,
what are your plans?
I'll be 60 years old in about a week and a half. I don't really have no plan on trying to convince people that I'm anti-Semitic. That's not one of my life's goals. That's not a life goal of mine. I don't give a rat's ass. I don't care.
But you will continue to go out and speak your truth.
I'm going to teach the human family like I've been put here to do. The Creator called me over 60 years ago and said, you have a mission. I accepted the mission and I'm walking that out. This is my assignment. This is my assignment. You understand? I'm not going to cower down. I'm not going to be no punk and tell God, you know something? Nah, I'd rather be a rich and famous rapper and get me a fucking car, a house, and a white woman. Absolutely not. I'm good with that. I don't need to bling out. I don't need stacks of money. I don't need these kind of things. I have an assignment, and this is it. Now, did I choose this? Absolutely not. But I'm walking my assignment out. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is who I am. I can't be anyone else.
Understood.
I'm the best person at being Professor Griff. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now listen, I didn't name myself Professor. That name was given to me in and around where I live on Long Island, in Roosevelt, Freeport, Hempstead, Baldwin, Freeport, Merrick. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I was a studious individual and I was training in martial arts and educating people way before this hip-hop thing. You could go to my hometown right now and ask about me there. Oh, the karate dude? Oh, man, don't fuck with him. You understand what I'm saying?
Where did you study? What form of karate did you study?
I studied Japanese Kasugan, and it's not really Japanese Kasugan. There was a beautiful brother by the name of Erskine Matthews who was a black man who took different forms of martial arts and put them together, and he came and taught black people in the hood. Why did he do that? Because the Koreans didn't like us, the Chinese didn't like us, the Japanese wouldn't teach us, the Taiwanese people didn't want us. So he learned those things and he came to the hood and he taught us. Then I studied Wushu.
I come from a family of Shotokan warriors.
Oh, you got the Shotokan thing going on.
Yeah, the Shotokan, Bronx thing.
That's right, up in the BX. You understand? But I studied Wushu, Jet Li kind of Wushu. I studied Wing Chun, Donnie Yen, Ip Man. People might know Wing Chun. I studied Aikido and a couple of other forms of martial arts. To the point where
practice?
That's my life. Yeah, got to. Matter of fact, for my 60th birthday, I just had my man Shane Shakur and my son Khalil put together the Wing Chun dummy that my wife bought me. I gotta practice. That's my life.
You gonna have a dojo party? You gonna have a dojo party?
A dojo? I don't know about that.
A dojo party?
Nah, Sharrock. Yeah.
Yeah,
I have a sweatshirt that says I studied Kung Fu in case I run out of ammo.